It's 1 o'clock. Yay, we're going to go ahead and start. Thank you for joining me. I'm Angela Anderson. This is my friend Carolyn Gore here. Say hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn. Hi, everybody.
She's going to help me narrate and answer questions. So please join in and comment as much as you like. We'd love to hear from you while we're working on this. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is a Pumpkin Zentangle project that we're going to be doing today. I've got like my pre-drawn one here. It's not colored the way we're going to color it. This one's colored more the way we want to color ours. I tried it with markers and it did not blend very well. So anyhow, I've pre-drawn on watercolor paper. I'm just using Strathmore watercolor sheets. It comes in a big pack of 24 that are already pre-cut, 9-inch by 12-inch today. But you can use whatever size you want. And I'm also going to be using Sharpies and some Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils. But you can use regular watercolors if you don't have the pencils. So let's get started. When I did my drawing, the first one that I want to draw is my front pumpkin. So I'm going to use my thick Sharpie, and you can do this in pencil beforehand like I did. If you do it in pencil, just trace it really lightly on your paper, because this paper will dent easily, and then when you go to erase it, it'll leave a mark. So you don't want that to happen. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just start here in this middle pumpkin, this little bitty baby one here at the front. And I'm going to draw my first oval. Try to keep this smooth if you can. Then you're going to draw your two side pieces. And if you're going to do a leaf, you'll want to do your leaf first. And then do your side piece so that it doesn't go over the top of your leaf. Alright, then I'm going to do my stem. And then you're going to do your two little bumps there to close off your pumpkin. Okay, so there's our first pumpkin. Then for our other two back pumpkins, we'll start again in the middle part and overlap it a little bit with this front pumpkin, and we're going to want to end it up higher than we did our other ones so that they'll look like they're farther away. So I'm just going to go right here, and I did one really tall and then one kind of medium-sized one. So this one's our tall. Woo, got a little high there, that's all right. And I'm trying to end these pretty much in the same height right here. And then go up and down. Do we have anybody asking questions or anything? No? Good.
They're listening intensely.
Awesome. And then
they said, well, this would be too hard to do with acrylic paint.
I don't think so. I think what you would do if you were going to do acrylic paints, I would trace it out and then paint it in with my acrylics first, and then do the Sharpie over the top of it. Or just, if you don't want to do the Sharpie at all and just do paints, then you'll kind of follow the same shading that we're going to be doing later with our watercolor pencils, and you just change the colors to your acrylics and sort of blend them in as you go. The nice thing about the watercolor pencils is they blend as soon as the water hits them. They kind of automatically start to blend, so you don't have to worry about that. But no, it shouldn't be too hard at all to do it in acrylics. Okay, this stem is a little bit trickier. So what I would do if you're drawing it is do your first loop and stop well before the junction there, and then do your second loop and stay about the same distance away, and then when you get to this line you'll know where to stop. Okay, then bring this one up to that point too. Right, then continue it around, do the same thing, loop this one around, stop it, and follow this loop around, staying about the same distance away, go up to that line and connect them. I was looking up the word Zentangle so that I would know what it meant, because I mean I know kind of what it looks like, but I didn't know like the actual definition, and apparently it's supposed to be abstract, so we're doing it all wrong anyways, so but they actually, it started out on 3.5 inch square cards, and it was supposed to be kind of just a Zen sort of way to sketch and meditate at the same time with your sketching. So it wasn't supposed to actually be anything, it was just supposed to be random patterns and things. But I think it's sort of involved into these sort of drawing exercises where you draw in and then you fill in your pieces with patterns. So, bellissimi. Hi Antoinetta. And Underdog, nice to meet you. Stephanie Kinson. Witzel, you made it. Mark is outside cleaning the garage. Yes, he is.
Brad said hi to Mark.
Oh, did he? Does he? Do you know Mark? No, he doesn't know Mark, do you? He's just being silly. Oh, okay. All right. And this one, I really didn't want to have this happen where I had too much pattern going, overlapping each other, but it kind of just happened that way, so we're just going to deal with it. Oop. So when we do these ones, we'll do like a simple pattern so that it doesn't get mixed up with all of what's going on here in our stem. I'm just filling in here. These pumpkins are really fun to draw. I've got kind of a pumpkin collection going on in my house, and I know I've already done a pumpkin project earlier this week, but I couldn't resist doing this project too. So okay, and then our stem, you're just going to want to curve it up on either side. And then for this one, I'm just doing a circle at the top to kind of close it off. Like that. So you can do it either way. You can do kind of the curlicue, or you can just do kind of a stub there. And then don't forget your two back pieces, and that'll make your pumpkin look more three-dimensional. And I'm just going to do some curlicues over here. And my leaf. Carolyn, who's talking? Anybody saying anything?
So they're all saying how much they like that type of art.
Oh, I do too. Oh, you made the other pumpkin? Go, Witzel. Awesome. Art can be whatever you want it to be. That is right. That is right. We're gonna make it our own. I didn't even know I think there's some people that are pretty serious about it. They probably don't like the fact that so many people are misusing the name, but whatever. It said you had to be a certified Zentangle something or other to teach it. So what? I'm an unqualified Zentangle teacher. You're gonna turn me into the art police. So I'm just gonna erase my lines here. Make sure your Sharpie's dry, but I'm gonna erase any lines where I kind of didn't cover my pencil marks before I want to do anything else, because I definitely don't want to leave those when we put our paint on. You won't be able to get them off. So speak now or forever hold your peace. All right.
Susan says you have such smooth, flat lines. Does that come eventually to we 62-year-olds who are just beginning?
Yes, it does. I mean, the more, it's kind of like any kind of, I feel like art is like any kind of a skill, like playing the piano or whatever. The more you practice at it, the better you'll get. So, and there's some techniques and things that will help make your life a lot easier, but for the most part, it just takes practice.
I think some of it has to do with confidence.
Yeah, that's true, especially with this. You do want to be confident while you're drawing. You don't want to be hesitant in your lines, for sure. I just keep finding these pencil marks, sorry. Okay, I'm going to do this final one. And also I find that drawing from left to right, even with painting, when I will turn my, if you'll see, sometimes you'll see me turn my canvas or my drawing so that I can draw from left to right. And it's actually a more natural way of drawing and painting, because your hands are already used to doing things in that direction, or whatever, you know, side that you, if you're left-handed, it would be the opposite, I guess, but anyhow, so I say draw, that's why I don't paint with a on an easel very often, because I find it kind of restricting. I like to be able to turn my art pieces to a comfortable position while I'm working on them. Okay, so we're ready to start Zentangling, and each one of our little patterns here is called a tangle. That's the technical name for the patterns. I did a test one here just to kind of check my colors and to see. This is the Caran d'Oche. I'm not sure exactly how you say that. Neocolor 2 Watersoluble Crayons. Those if you have them. The only thing about these is you won't be able to get into these really tight areas, so that's what I like about the pencils, because they're a little bit more exact. You'll be able to get a little bit better control on where you're putting them, putting your color. But these worked really well, and this was this one here and this one here were both done with those water soluble crayons. I just bought them, so I'd never used them before, so I wanted to test them out and see how they did. And then this side here is the Derwent one, so it was a little bit more dark. The colors are more intense. This was a regular watercolor pencil, the Faber-Castell, and they're a little bit less intense, but I did test them back over here, and I just drew them really heavily, and they were able to get a better color. So the more you practice, the better you get, just like anything. April says, do whatever makes you happy. That's true.
In most cases.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to show you here. I made out, use these with my kids class. I just make out these little sheets so that I can set them out so they have ideas on patterns and things. And these are just ones that I've seen that I wanted to try and liked. And I made a huge poster board one to set out. It's a little bit more unmanageable, but I'm going to have it propped up behind me here. And I'm just going to start filling in some patterns. And when I'm picking my patterns, I pretty much tend to do my more intricate patterns in the areas where you'll be able to see them. So these like middle areas and maybe these first ones on the sides, and then as I get toward the outside, maybe not so much detail, or especially on these little tiny ones, you're not going to be able to see a lot of detail in those areas, so you don't want to try to do a real intricate design in those little areas. So you can see this one here that I did on my test one. I don't know.
This becomes your own creative.
That's right. Yeah, and if you're
patterns and colors.
if you're looking for ideas, there's a ton of them on, or if you just Google Zentangle designs, there's a ton of them. There's a bunch of them on Pinterest that you can print out that have ideas. So let's just go ahead and get started. I think. Does anybody have a request?
Where did you get the original picture?
This one? This is one that I did with my kids' class, and this was my sketch that I did for them. And then this was the other one that I did for them too. So some of them chose to just do one pumpkin, and then some of them chose to do all three. But there's a lot of pumpkin. This one we just drew. Yeah, and did it with the... Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to let's do a pattern. I'm going to do some long patterns. I'm going to start up here and just do some little wavy line. And if you go off the end here, you just kind of want to figure out how far, keep the same distance apart with your pattern here. I'm not going to worry too much about those side pieces. I'm going to put dots on these. If you all want to see any particular pattern, let me know. I don't know if you know what the names of them are, but we'll try to figure it out. If you have any questions. Carolyn, what are people saying there?
Oh, I thought that the Zen squares looked like a quilt.
Yes, they do look like a quilt.
The squares you showed them.
Oh, the ones, yeah, on the patterns, they do.
Yeah. That'd be a whole lot of embroidery work.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
Art Junkie says that's the circle ones.
The circle ones? Okay, let's do ones like maybe like this. Or let's do one of these fun ones. I like that one. Well, I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to curve it a little bit so that it looks like it's curving with the line of the pumpkin. What?
Sharon says she really can't draw, so would it be okay? Or would it be cheating to use a printout?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. They have, actually, there's quite a few I found on Pinterest that had printouts for this kind of project. And some of them were pumpkins, so no, go for it.
You know, you use whatever you want to.
That's right. And there's all those adult coloring books. I keep seeing them everywhere I go lately.
Yeah.
They're really popular right now,
Yeah.
which I need to get one. That sounds like fun.
Older people. My mom loves to color.
Oh, yeah.
She'd love it.
So you need to get her one for Christmas.
One for Christmas.
That's right. So these are, I'm just putting my circles in a line here. I don't know if you want to know how I'm doing each one of these or just want to watch and enjoy, but
you can do the same ones that Angela's doing, or you can create your own.
that's right. And I'm definitely not an expert in Zentangle. I don't tend to draw a lot. It's kind of weird, but I I do it when I have to, when I'm painting something and I know I've got to have a good sketch for stuff, but most of the time I just like to get in there and paint. And I do.
Ask, what grade do you teach art?
I do private lessons, so they're all basically ages 7 to teen. So I think my oldest girls are like 13 or 14, and they have actually graduated to now I've got an adult teen class that they are doing, and they're doing awesome. Some of my girls that have been in my art class for several years, they were ready to move on and do some more kind of projects that were more difficult. And
yeah, some of the younger kids were great when they first started.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
for
creativity.
sure. Yeah, I've got some good kids.
Yeah, I try to draw, but what ends up on the paper is not what's in her head. It always looks like a child's drawing.
Well, you know, your brain will fight your especially when you get to a certain age. Like kids don't really have that problem. They kind of go with whatever, go with the flow, and they don't worry too much about what it looks like. But when you get to a certain age, and I can't remember what age it is, but your brain chemistry kind of changes, and you start kind of rethinking what you think too much. Your brain kind of gets in the way of what you're drawing, and what you'll do is psych yourself out. And I fight with it all the time. I mean, there's certain things when I draw, like especially water or something like that, it's really hard for me to paint it because the whole time I'm thinking, that's not what water looks like. And, you know, that your brain kind of fights.
You're judging yourself.
Well, yeah, you're not trusting that what your eyes are seeing is correct. You're wanting to, you've got a symbol for whatever that is that you're drawing, like an apple, say, or something like that, and your brain will say, well, an apple looks a certain way, and then when you start to draw it, and it doesn't look like what your preconceived notion of what an apple should look like, you'll start to kind of lose confidence in what you're doing, and then you'll start to do what your brain says it's supposed to do instead of what your eyes are seeing. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Kim Sim says she loves the look of Zentangles, but I think it would cramp my arthritic hand too much.
Yeah, you do kind of have to stop. Yeah.
Bigger patterns.
You have to stop and kind of let your hand rest every now and then. When we do this with my kids' class, I have them have a break where they just shake out their hands because they do get cramped. For sure.
Kibo says that she's a homeschooling mom.
Oh.
6th, 4th, 2nd, and kindergarten, and would love to see more videos like this.
Okay.
Says we're doing it with you right now.
Wonderful.
Thanks so much. We're really enjoying it.
Awesome. Well, that's what I've decided, Kimbo. It seems like who said that? Is it Kim? Oh, Chibo. Sorry. My videos that have done the best have been the ones that have been geared toward kids or beginners. So I think I'm going to really focus on that. There's a lot of really good artists out there that are doing fine art stuff. But there's not a whole lot that are doing stuff for kids. At least not stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want to hang in my house. So when I do my kids' projects, I'm like, really, I want to do stuff that I would want to hang in my house. So we don't do we do stuff that a little bit more sophisticated, but that they still can do, that's still easy enough for them to tackle.
I think if you watch a fine art video, you really do see they have great talent, but I think you have to have classes like these to get you to that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Be able to draw.
Yeah, very true.
Otherwise, it's just a pretty picture somebody's drawing, but you know you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, but it's not necessarily something that you could tackle for yourself. Okay, I'm going to do some zigzags over here.
You know, the thing is, too, whether you get all 3 pumpkins done during the time that Angela gets hers done, it's okay. You know, you can just do one pumpkin and finish the other ones later.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you can continue trying to keep up with Angela, but it's however you feel more comfortable in doing it.
Yeah, and we'll have this uploaded right after this, so you'll be able to catch it later if you don't get it all in today. Let's see, what else do we want to do? I need to keep going here.
Yeah, it's not a race. It's your own creation.
That's right.
However long it takes you. Enjoy it. Again, it's enjoying the journey.
Yep.
We have 19 people watching now.
Awesome. If you haven't chimed in with a comment, you can please comment. We want to hear from you. Okay.
I know some of you guys know each other. I mean, how is it that you guys know each other? Is it from some social media or classes? We'd like to be able to let you know of our other classes and videos coming up. Somehow to be able to reach more people.
Yeah, a lot of these ladies are from my group that we do on Facebook. I know several of them from our Facebook group that is for creators from YouTube, which has been so nice. It's just so nice to meet other people who do videos and know kind of what it's like to have to create, and there's all kinds of little things that can go wrong. I keep having issues with sound. I did 3 videos this week, and the first one I did, I tested my audio the day before and everything was fine, and then I went and recorded it and then went to play it back and none of the audio had recorded. And that's the 3rd time that I've done that. It's so frustrating because you know, you're concentrating so hard on what you're saying while you're doing the video, and then you get to the end and you realize none of it recorded, and so then you have to go back and dub over it and try to remember what you were saying when you... I just went and re-recorded it. I didn't even want to try to dub it. Fortunately, it was a short video, but I keep having technical issues. I think it's user error. I don't think my computer is at fault. It's...
Stephanie says that it's through Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, yeah.
Which is on Google+.
Awesome. I don't use Google Plus as much as I should. I need to get more active on Google Plus. I try to keep up with Facebook, and I'm trying to do better at tweeting too, but mainly blogging and Pinterest and Facebook, and then is where I do most of my Instagram is completely neglected. I hardly ever do Instagram. I don't even really know how to use it, so.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cinnamon on this today.
No, she's at a conference, I think, or she'd probably be here. She is doing, there's a creators conference in Houston where she's from, and she's doing that today. I'm going to section out my leaf so I can do more than one pattern in it.
Stephanie, are you and Mark watching together? They were with us on the last one we did.
Oh, that's right.
This one says it's so hard to keep up with all the social media platforms.
It is, I know. I actually just hired somebody to help me kind of do better about it. He's given me advice because I was worried about the fact that I don't have a lot of followers on some of the, like Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and he said, don't worry about it. He was like, it's better just to concentrate on a few than to be good at everything, so that kind of took the pressure off me. I decided I'm not going to worry about because you could spend all your time tweeting and doing all this, then you wouldn't have any time to create.
Witzel says his video keeps popping off and on. I just checked it. It says that's good.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm not sure why, Witzel.
Okay, so we're getting almost done with this first one here. I think I want to do some... Let's see, let's just do like this.
Mark and Stephanie are watching together.
Awesome.
And she says Mark is drawing along with you.
Awesome, that's great. This is actually really relaxing. It's fun to do. I think I'll leave that. And maybe if I had more time I would put some detail in my leaves there, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to leave them as is for now and move on. Let's see, I'm going to do a zigzag in this one. And I did my, if you noticed before, I did my outline with my thicker Sharpie, and then I'm switched to my ultra fine point for this part because I wanted these lines to be a little bit smaller. And that'll help kind of give these ones a little bit more definition. So I'm going to do my zigzag this way.
Audrey, you're not going nuts.
What does she say?
She says she hears someone in the background.
Oh!
Am I hearing strange?
That's my girlfriend Carolyn. She's helping me read comments today. Because I was so slowed down with my last couple of videos when or my first video that I tried to do live, I kept having to stop to read comments. So I'll have Carolyn here today to help me so I don't miss anybody commenting.
Try to get an answer for every question.
Yeah. And I'm just going opposite lines, trying to keep these parallel here on this one.
Witzel says he's betting on the provider as it is nothing new in his neighborhood.
Oh.
Going on and off.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's looking okay here, so fingers crossed. We had so much trouble with my poppy one, and I still haven't gotten around to uploading a new one for that, which I really wanted to do. I just haven't gotten around to it. I think what I'm going to do is like shorten the video and make it a faster version. Okay, so I'm going to do like pea pods.
Well, I'm glad you're not looping out now, Audrey. You know that it's someone actually here.
Yeah. Audrey is one of my favorite friends from our group too. She did the cutest. She does beautiful faces. I'm amazed with some of the stuff she does because she did the most beautiful little witch drawing. It was so well.
That's kind of an oxymoron.
No, it was so pretty. The eyes and everything were done so well. She's got a really neat little studio too that was on her video. So.
It's nice to be able to hear or read the comments because it's kind of like family.
That's right.
The family just sitting together.
Mm-hmm. probably should have done these closer together now that I'm looking at this. I probably could have fit another chain in there. I might do a little half chain.
Andrea says she's addicted to your artwork as well.
Oh, good. Oh, I've met so many new YouTube folks. I guess I just didn't, I don't know, you get in your own little bubble and you don't take the time to look and see what other people are doing. Cinnamon was the one that first reached out to me because she saw one of my videos that had been copied and brought it to my attention. So that's how I first met her, and then it wasn't very much after that she started the group and invited me to the group. So we only had 9, I think, when I first joined, and now it's over 300 and something people that are part of that Facebook group. And I've just seen so many amazing artists on YouTube. It's just really great. Except for we still don't have the following that the video gamers are having. Spencer, my son, that's 13, he came home from school yesterday, and he got online and was watching some video gamer play a game, and he had 54,000 people watching him play a video game live on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I told Mark, I was like, I wonder if anybody wanted to learn how to paint. Wow, I don't even know where those people, they must be, most of them, kids, but I don't know, my older boys, they like to watch that stuff too. They watch tournaments, and it's the new thing for sure. And that youth, that range, they really like to watch other people play video games. I don't get it, but
Susan says she's a caregiver for her 88-year-old dad, and so she's decided to try to draw.
Awesome.
Trying to find her niche. I used to draw in school. I'm 54 years young now.
Nice.
That's right. It's never too late.
No, it's not. It's not.
And thank you for being a caregiver for your dad.
I know. That's hard.
It's
a blessing.
Blessing and a art all on its own.
That's right. Okay, let's see. Anybody have any requests to see any particular patterns? I'm trying to figure out how to finish off some of these.
Said my 15-year-old is a gamer, and many have millions watching them play the BlitzCon tournaments.
Yes. So does he play the tournaments too, or just he watches them? They're pretty. They have stadiums that are filled in some parts of the country where people will go and fill a stadium and watch from overseas other tournaments, video game tournaments. It's crazy.
And what does gaming get you in life? I don't get it.
Fast thumbs. Well, they use it now in the Army to train soldiers and things for combat situations. It helps them with their reflexes, and they even have like on some of the remote control vehicles and things like that, they have remote controllers that they use to checkerboard pattern. Okay, let's do that. Fun. All right, I'm going to do it away from this because this is already pretty geometrical. Let's do it over here in this one. I'm going to do it kind of curving.
Maria said about her son, now he watches for now, but she knows he wants to follow in that line of work. Mm-hmm. So many young people do nowadays in college.
They do, yep. Well, my oldest son, he goes and travels and does tournaments out of town for Smash Brothers, which is a Nintendo game. And he's done okay. I mean, but they have prizes and stuff in the tournaments. It's pretty pretty funny.
They make big money.
Yeah, he doesn't have a sponsor, but he does like to play it. He just goes and does it for fun. Yeah, I don't think he's ever made any money at it, but some of his friends and him. So I'm going to switch over to the larger one since I've got some big areas to fill in. And I'm going to fill in with my Sharpie here every other square. I hope this isn't too boring. I wanted to do a little bit easier ones so that it would be a little bit more relaxing. We could talk more. And then last time the poppy field one was pretty intense. I had to really concentrate and had a lot to explain the whole time.
Says she so enjoys the tutorials. Thank you for
Oh,
sharing
good.
with us.
I've enjoyed it. I'm so glad that I was able to get my new studio set up this year because it's made it so much easier to record videos. I used to be kind of stuck over in a corner and I'd have to set up everything every single time that I wanted to do a video. It would be kind of like starting over. It was kind of a hassle. So now it's a lot easier to just... most of the time I leave my camera setting out and just record. It's kind of almost, I actually haven't done a painting yet this year that I haven't recorded. So every time I do one, start to do one, I feel guilty that I'm not recording it. It's a missed opportunity.
We're glad you're having fun, Maria, with us. Thank you for doing this, she says.
Good. Yeah, this is a fun little project. And when you get this done, if you want to mount it on something, I would recommend using you can actually frame them, just find a frame for it, but if you don't want to have to frame it, you can put it on mat board. The craft stores usually sell their going outside the lines there, sorry. Sell little packs of mat board, or you might even go to a local framer and see if he has any extras that he wouldn't mind selling for cheap. But you just mount it on a piece of mat board and it just gives it a little bit of stability. That turned out cute.
Ellie wants to know if you could do the woven pattern.
Woven pattern. Okay. Yes, that one's a little bit trickier. Let's do it. I need to visualize it. Let me see if I can find one.
Just FYI, we are trying to do these live videos about every 2 weeks on Saturdays.
Yes.
So we'd love for you to join in with us each time, especially all the homeschoolers that enjoy art. It'll be fun.
For sure. We're actually thinking about maybe doing one during the weekdays too. This is going to be the one that we'll do next time. I went ahead and painted this and I did a video, but then when I was doing the video, I was like zoomed way in, and I was painting up here, and you didn't see half of what I was doing, so I was so mad after I got it done. I realized I had missed like half of what I was showing people, and I kind of don't like that the horizon's so high up here. I kind of feel like it's interfering with this, and I want my tree to be a little farther down. So I'm just going to redo it. We'll do it live in a couple weeks. So this will be our next one in 2 weeks that we'll do. And I'll put the, if you want to paint along with us, I'll put the description, in the description, what paints and things you'll need for it.
I asked, can this be done, I guess, on stretched canvas?
This?
The Zentangle, yeah, I guess.
It would be hard to draw on the stretch canvas. I would probably not recommend it, just because the canvas has so much texture that it's hard to get a straight line. Now it's not that you can't do it. What you might want to do is cover the canvas with paper first, so that it's a little bit smoother, and then do it. But yeah, canvas is kind of tricky. It just doesn't want to. It does not want to be drawn on. It's really textured, highly textured. Okay, let me do it over.
I'm loving the tree picture. I can't wait.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, it should be fun. I was planning on uploading it yesterday, but like I said, once I looked at the video, I was just like disappointed in it. I decided I didn't want to upload it that way. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put my woven pattern. I don't want to interfere. This is probably too busy. I guess I'll put it over here. So,
Andrea says, I'm really glad that artists like you are doing live events, because the only drawback about creating alone in my studio is sometimes feeling isolated.
I agree.
This live stuff makes me feel connected.
I totally agree with you. Yes, it's so much more fun than just doing it by myself. I can see why Cinnamon has decided to do nothing but live. I'm trying to see how this goes. Okay, so it's like this.
They're asking, what kind of paper do you usually use?
Well, for this, it's watercolor paper, because I knew I was going to be using watercolors on top of it. I've used, like, this one was a mixed media paper, it said. But it didn't really do well. It wrinkled quite a bit when I used it, and it's kind of thin, so you can sort of tell it's the thinner papers are going to wrinkle. This is actually, and I don't even know what brand this was. It's so old. My son got water all over it, and it got ruined. But Strathmore. Okay, so this is also the same brand as the paper I'm using, Strathmore. It's really good. It's been a good sketchbook for me. I covered the front of it, but and I use it for like testing colors and all this other stuff, but it's done really well for like it holds up really well to the water. So I don't know what I've got terrible stuff in there, really bad drawings from just test. It's my test sketchbook. It's not like a really good, I don't have really good sketchbooks.
Got asked, do you seal the watercolor painting?
Seal it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I think that there's a spray fixative that you could probably do, but no, I don't generally. I probably would just recommend framing it. If you're going to have it out in the open, then yeah, you probably would want to maybe spray. I'm not sure, though. I don't do a whole lot of watercolor, so I'm not really expert at it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really having a hard time seeing here. Okay, there we go. Sorry, Lord. Have mercy. I don't know why that was throwing me for a loop.
Maria
Oops,
says
I
you
did
can
this the wrong
spray
way.
it with a fixative.
There you go. Oh, I keep doing that. Did it wrong there too. Okay, sorry. My woven is not the best here. It keeps like that, and then this one goes up, and this one goes down. This one goes up. Or do I keep doing it wrong? Okay, and then this one goes like this. And like that.
Witzel says he has a boatload of Strathmore sketchbooks.
Well, they're awesome. Okay, I just did that wrong. Okay, you guys, this is the worst one. Sorry, apparently I don't know how to do a basket weave here.
Over, under.
I can't figure it out. I don't know why. I guess it's just talking. It's like it's making. Okay, there we go. Whew, Lordy. I don't think I'm doing this part of it right, though. This one's supposed to curve this way. This one's supposed to curve this way. Okay. There we go. Oh, we got it now. We're cooking. Lordy. Okay, don't ask me to do that one again.
You're learning something.
My goodness,
new,
I am. This is terrible. Okay, just don't look at that part right there and we'll be okay. I still think I didn't quite do that right, but that's all right. Maybe what we'll do is fill in some of these with dark, and then we'll try to hide our mistakes there. Whatever. I'm going to make little lines in here. All these little pieces. Anybody saying anything? Carolyn? No? Guys, new to painting, do you seal? Oh, okay, she already asked that one. Answer that.
How well do Sharpies preserve?
They're pretty decent. I wouldn't put it where it'll be in the sunlight. It'll fade if you get it in the sunlight. So if you want better preserved, I would use like pit markers. These Faber-Castell pit. They're a little bit more light fast than the Sharpies, but they're a lot more expensive. So they're just.
Witzel's being funny. He says maybe you should watch a tutorial on that.
I should. I should. I need to watch a tutorial on the weave. I don't know why it was. I don't know. It was just my brain couldn't quite get it.
I don't think I'm going to do that one.
No.
I think I'll use flux.
Yeah. Wow, that was painful. Okay. My God, that's over. Oh my Lord, it turned out okay, but man, oh man.
Okay, we're just family.
That's right. Oh, you're seeing the real deal here, folks. That part would have been edited out. Okay, I think I'm going to let's do some little starburst ones. Those are fun. I need something easy after that. you might find your kids have these done like lickety split. I swear, there's always someone in my class that is like in a race to finish first. You know, like they think that you get a prize or something if you finish first. So if you're doing this with your kids, you may end up finishing last.
Yeah, crossing the finish line.
Yeah. And then there's others that are like squeezing every last second out of class, and that's how I was always. I was always so meticulous and always trying to do it just perfect, you know, and get it all. I never finished anything in class, almost ever, especially in junior high.
Yeah, Stephanie says it just forces your brain to adjust to the patterns. That's why it turned out just fine in the end.
Yeah. My right brain wouldn't switch on.
Did we answer the question if you seal watercolors or not?
Yeah, I think Audrey said that you can get a fixative that's for watercolors. So there we go. That one was fun. Easy. All right. Phew. Needed an easy one. I think I'm going to do, let's see. I like that one, maybe. Maybe just do some little flowers. I'll do some circles in this guy.
Where can you go to get to know some of the different patterns?
Oh, if you Google this, there'll be a bunch of stuff that pops up, or even on Pinterest, there's a ton of different things that
What would you Google?
patterns.
Zentangle?
Zentangles, Zentangle patterns, yep.
Hopefully that helps, Susan.
I can do little polka dots on this guy because I don't want it to be too, can't be anything too dark, too busy. There's so much going on already. I don't want to compete with it. Probably should have used the bigger pen for this, polka dots. So it makes a bigger spot. Okay, there we go. Alright, so 2 down, 1 to go, almost done. How much time do we have? Oh, we've been a whole hour. Okay, I need to get cooking here so we can get this colored. Wow. Alright, in fact, I'm going to just stop right here for now. And then we'll color this and I'll finish mine later. So let's get to coloring here. I'm just going to color these two and I'm going to leave this guy to finish for later. So I'm going to use my Derwent pencils. I've got 3 colors. I'm going to do the Sienna Gold and the Cadmium Orange and the Burnt Orange. And the Sienna Gold I'm going to color in the middle. So we'll start on this one. And ooh, this paper is kind of textured, so this will be interesting to see how that affects the overall look. The Inktense pencils are really super pigmented, so you won't have to color very dark with them. If you're using a regular watercolor pencil, you'll want to color in fairly heavily, kind of like you would with a colored pencil. Okay, so I'm overlapping just a little bit along the edges. This next color is Cadmium Orange. And then I'm switching to Burnt Orange. And going heavier on the bottom a little bit. And then real close to the sides here. Not too much at the top. But you want your sides to be the most shadowed so that it looks like there's some darker shadows going on. Then the madder brown is a kind of an orangey brown or like a reddish brown. And I'm going to put it just in the darkest areas where I want just a little bit extra darkness, right along the bottom and just a little bit up the side here. Okay, and then I'm also going to do it along the bottom of this one. You can see the color a little bit. The color changes quite a bit when you wet them, so it won't look like much yet. Okay, and then burnt orange. Along the side here, under my leaf. Do some burnt orange back there, along this side. Really don't want much on the side here. I shouldn't have put so much on that one. Mostly want your dark shades on the bottom and in the creases. Okay, cadmium orange. This is going to be our main color. We'll put that mostly up here. And then Sienna gold. Might even use a yellow for those bright spots. Willow is going to be my stem color. It's a kind of a light brown. So go really light with this. You don't want to color in too heavily. And then a little tiny bit of the dark chocolate right where it meets the pumpkin. A little bit goes a long way with these pencils. And then let's do our leaf with apple green. That'll be our light color. So I'm going to do that most in those areas. And then light olive along the edges. And some of the field green also along the edge. That's a little bit brighter color. Okay, so let's once you get this whole thing filled in with your pencils, you want to come in, and I've got just a little bit of water in my brush, and I'm going to come in next to this. I'm going to do this area first so that it'll dry while I'm doing the rest of this, and then I wouldn't do my leaf and then do my pumpkin, because you kind of want each section to dry a little bit so they don't blend too much in. But see how pretty that is? Once you hit it with water, it's kind of like those magic coloring books that you used to get when you were a kid that had the color already in there and all you had to do was add water. That's sort of how this works. Okay, I'm going to clean that out so I don't have too much.
It comes alive.
It does. There we go. And those colors will blend a little bit. With the Inktense, they tend to stay where you put them pretty much. They don't migrate too much. Some watercolor pencils will bleed a little bit more than others, but these ones are pretty good about staying put. Now you can see where too, if you've gotten dark enough or not. You can always go back in after this is dry and do another section with the pencils to darken it up a little bit. Sorry, this is taking me so long. I didn't realize how long we were taking. We're just talking and running out of time. I was trying to keep this down to about an hour.
That's what happens when family gets together.
That's right. We just get to talking. It's that darn basket weave that
yeah, that water just makes them come alive.
it does. These colors are so intense too. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to try to do the stem without touching any of this other areas, so I'm just going to try to be real careful and keep it inside my painted lines, because anywhere the water goes, the color will go. So just try to, there we go. Isn't that pretty? And then I probably,
there's no crime in having a good time.
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a little bit of darker
No
You
need for the art police.
color in a little bit darker right here where it went underneath. Ooh, that was real dark. See how that, while it's wet, you can kind of use your brush as a sponge and pick up a little bit of it, lift it off slightly. It doesn't lift as well as other watercolors, but it'll lift a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now we got a little shadow in there. I hope you can see that. Okay. I'll hold it up. I don't know if I can hold it and be careful with it.
Andrea wants to know why you don't have the big accent. Are you a transplant?
I am a transplant. I grew up in California.
Me too.
Yeah, Carolyn too. Yeah, we're both transplants. I moved here in '93 to Arkansas, so every now and then I'll catch myself saying something that sounds a little bit Arkansas, but
I always made the extra effort not to use the words like y'all.
I did too. I know.
I always used you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, you guys is a very California term. You don't, and nobody out here uses it. West Coast, because they used it in Arizona too. And then my husband's from New England, so I ended up, we're both transplants. He doesn't have an accent either. So anyhow, I'll keep working on this. And I may end up speeding up the rest of this recording. I don't want to stop now, but anyhow, at least those of you who just wanted to see the coloring part can see how that worked out. I'm going to keep drawing.
yeah, I'm sure everybody's pumpkins will be different with
Oh,
different
yeah.
patterns and different colors.
That's right. Yeah, and if you're using like watercolors, regular watercolor, in a case or whatever, what you would do to get these, tones is just to kind of layer them the way I did with the pencils, only using the colors, and maybe wet down your section first and then put your color in and then let it dry and then put another color over the top and let it dry. But if you wet the sections down, it'll help with the blending and you won't get any lines and things like that. So
Andrea says it's beautiful. Can't wait to see it finished.
good.
An hour, 25 minutes.
Wow, okay. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm not particularly fast with my drawing, obviously. I think I'm just going to do straight lines on this one.
So, Stephanie and Mark, how are you guys doing with this piece?
Yeah, I wonder if they're still with us.
And Maria and Andrea said they're not in a hurry. Take
Okay.
their time.
All right. Good. Then
We will stay.
I'll keep going. I'll do these ones in this direction. It's quiet all of a sudden. Sorry. I'm concentrating.
Yeah, everybody's concentrating.
I wish I could play music. That's the one thing about doing these videos that really bugs me, is that I can't have music on, because I always have music on when I'm creating, and it seems so unnatural to not have
I'll
music.
sing to you, Angela.
They do. Thank you, Carolyn. He's a true friend.
Stephanie and Mark said they're here, and Mark says he's just starting the color part.
Good. You and Mark beat me. I'm just taking my time. Whoop.
Witzel says he has all freaking afternoon to watch.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
They're all just
Speech
waiting.
center of the brain shuts down when you are creative. That is very true, Stephanie. I find it really hard when I'm doing my classes to speak sometimes, especially if we're doing a really tough project. It's very goes against your brain functioning, whatever. I don't know. It's
Look like a little square, white square right there.
I don't know. I think it's my program. I think it's the program that we're using. Oh, I forgot. I've got this special thing here too. I forgot to do it. Oh, it's got my little. Isn't that cute? And then we can switch back to that one here in a minute. But yeah, I'll probably need to switch. Your video is refreshing. It's trying. Are we back? Houndstooth. Ooh. Now it's good again. Okay, so it seems like it went back on. Is it working again? I hope. I want to show how I have this really cool way to show my logo, and it froze my program, so definitely not going to do that again. Is it back on? All right, let me see. I think I'm going to do a scallop. Is it working again?
It's gloomy, raining, a rainy Saturday here in Kentucky. So I'm here. The sweeper can wait and dusting.
That's
Oh,
right.
where did you go? Oh, there you are. Shoot. Yeah, we were thinking that too.
We had a little technical issue there for a second, but we're back. I'm glad it started working again. it was my program that's sending the live stream froze on me, so.
We're going to take care of those technical difficulties.
I don't know what the deal is. I think it was just the program itself this time. It wasn't YouTube. I'm doing a little scallop pattern now. Kind of cute.
Now, where is it that they can send pictures of their finished drawings to?
On my in my description of this video, there's a link that I should give my email address. You can just send it through email if you want, or you can share it on Facebook. And I have
On which page?
in my description down below this video, there should be a little arrow. If you're not on your desktop, on your phone, there's like a little arrow next to the title of the video that'll drop down a little description box, and it's got all the information for the video in it, and in there are my links to my various places. Or also, if you go up to my About page, if you just go to click on About Angela, I think, or I can't remember, maybe click on my name, it'll send it to a little thing where you can
Upload.
find where to send it to upload. But I have a new Pinterest board that I've started with all of the artwork from people who've sent me stuff over the years. So I just started that like last week, and I still haven't uploaded everything that people have sent me, so I'm still working on that. But I blog it, and because Pinterest doesn't work well with Facebook, they don't talk to each other. They had a falling out apparently or something. You know how girls are, right? So Pinterest said something about her shoes, and she got all mad at Facebook, and now they're just not talking at all. But so anyhow, I have to blog the pictures, so I put them up on my blog, and then from my blog I can put them on Pinterest. So it just takes a couple of steps to get it there, but it's been really fun. I think I wanted to make these a little darker, so I'm just using my pen here, my thicker pen. Doing some little scales. Anybody asking any questions, Carolyn?
No, Audrey just said she's going to go look at your Pinterest page.
Oh, good. Yeah. There's some really cool stuff. Most of the stuff that I've put in are the so far are the Gerbera daisy, and still can't say that, and the floral landscape thing that I did a few years back, and then the poppy painting. I also had several people send me their poppy. So those are the only three that are up right now, but it's pretty cool. That was shocking to me the first time I got somebody actually sent me something for the Gerbera daisy video. I got a email from a guy from Scotland. He sent me the picture of his. Well, no, that's not. I'm sorry, it's not the Gerbera daisy. It was another one where he sent me the picture from his daughter had done, and then I started getting other ones from all over the world, and it was neat to know people are watching. You get to meet all these neat people from all these other places.
Stephanie B says she loves the scallops. They look like fish scales or a tile roof.
They do, yeah, they're cool.
And she
Yeah.
said that she's going to have to get Mark to send you his picture.
Oh, definitely. I'd love to see it. And I think he
See the
said,
kind of patterns that men put.
yeah,
A woman's brain.
probably a little bit more manly. Maybe not as
Foo-foo.
foo-foo, yeah. Curly cues and I don't know. I'm just impressed that he's doing art. My husband's an engineer, and he goes with me to the art functions and stuff because he has to, but like
He is supportive.
he's supportive. He's very supportive, but he is not something that he would be doing on his own. Like if he
Yeah.
if he weren't married to me, I don't think he would have stepped foot inside an art museum ever and been just fine about it. Although he's starting to enjoy it more. We're going to go see Frank Lloyd Wright. They moved, well, not him, but obviously, they moved one of his homes that was having flooding problems. And I can't remember where they moved it from. Maybe Ohio or Pennsylvania or something like that. Anyhow, they brought it up to Crystal Bridges, our museum in Bentonville, Arkansas. So we're going up there in a couple of weeks to see that, and they're just opening up the house, and they've refurnished it and redone everything so that it's just like it was when he first built it. So that'll be really cool. Okay, this is taking forever. I don't know why I started doing these little dots, but
Audrey says she sees a CAC group on Pinterest board. But
yes,
how do
there
you
is.
get added to it?
If you will let the, I think there might be an email up there, but if I think I can't remember. One of the any of the admins can probably help you with that, but yeah, you just have to request to be added. In fact, I think that they posted it a couple weeks ago on the board how to request to be added. So yeah, you definitely need to get on there.
Stephanie says that her and Mark have been married for 31 years now,
Oh wow.
doing more and more art and on.
Oh, that's great. Mark used to do art with me when we were first married and when we were first dating. He would try, but he was not very naturally gifted. It was going to take a lot of work. He just didn't want to put in the effort. So, whew, that one was a lot of. My wrist is feeling that. Okay, so let's finish this off. I'm just gonna do a big concentric circles in this one. And then I'm just going to do dot stripes this way. Oh, I forgot. I have one more leaf to do. Okay, let's do some.
Did we lose Witzel? He's awfully quiet.
I think Witzel's a woman, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong.
Finally, my YouTube decided to come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay. All right, now we're cooking. We're almost done here.
Well, for as long as it's been, we still have 17 watching.
Well,
with us,
good.
so that's great.
Yep, that's great.
We're gonna wait
All right,
to see
we're
the
done.
Finished product.
We're done here. Let's finish coloring it. This it's actually probably worked out better to do this one first anyways because we didn't have to wait for it to dry. So we can just pretend I'm Alright, so we're going to color the part in a gold and the outer edges. I'll probably put some shadows in around these leaves and things, but for now I'm just going to put in the color real quick. Don't have to go too heavy because this covers really well. Carolyn and I are going to watch the finale of them. America's Got Talent this afternoon. After this. We've been, I think it is, right? Isn't it the finale this week? I think it was, or maybe not. Maybe we've got one more week. I think we got 4 of them recorded though. So it was getting close. I think it was down to the top 5 maybe. I think it was a finale maybe.
Yes, Stephanie's been having a great time watching. She's been making brunch too.
Great.
Breakfast, cake.
Oh, that's perfect.
Fried potatoes, sausage and eggs, almost time to eat.
Oh, wow, yum.
We're all coming over.
That's right. We'll be right over.
Yeah,
Great.
did you make enough for everybody here? That sounds great.
Uh-huh. We're having hamburgers later on tonight.
Yeah. A good color palette right there. Pumpkins and fried sweet potatoes.
That's right.
Throw in some little brown sausage and yellow eggs. There you go.
Okay, there's my burnt orange around the edges.
Everybody's getting hungry.
Yeah, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I know we didn't eat lunch before we started this. I'm
Nope.
ready to eat.
Mark's been busy.
That's right. Yeah, my husband's cleaning out the garage, bless his heart. We had years worth of old shoes, and some of them I think my son's friends left after parties and things, because we had a ton of shoes in there that we didn't even recognize. I don't know who they belonged to, that had just been left in our garage over the years and accumulated. So he's chunking all those, or going to send them off to Goodwill or something, I think.
Yeah, Stephanie's saying, well, if you're close to Portland, Oregon, guess we could have lunch with her and Mark.
Oh, yeah. Portland's a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm.
We, my great-grandmother lived in Lebanon, which is, so I would fly into Eugene and go out to see her every summer, just about. She was great. She did her own canning, and she's how I learned how to sew. I learned on a trundle machine, the kind that you had to use your foot with. Well, she was a neat old lady. She passed away a few years ago.
Stephanie's asking, well, how did they go home without their shoes?
Yeah, I know. That's what I want to know.
They're college boys.
That's right. They probably had sandals or something, or there's no telling. No telling. Or it might have been somebody who spent, I have no idea. Yeah, that's a good question.
Kelly says we were having barbecue, pulled pork, and chips for dinner.
Yum.
Wow. Good old Texas girl here. That'd be good.
Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of this madder brown in some of these areas that might be the darkest. This is turning out to be a pretty long process here. We did it in an hour and a half in class, believe it or not, but not exactly sure how we got it done that quick. Obviously, I
You were
didn't.
probably the only one talking.
That's true. They were working. I wasn't. Yeah.
You're interacting with.
And they didn't have to do the stinking basket weave one. Oh my gosh.
I was having a hard time with that one.
Oh lordy. Okay, now I'm switching to Willow. I'm going to do my stem with Willow. I think this stem, I saw this stem off of another person's drawing yesterday and I thought how cute it was. So I decided to incorporate it into mine today. And then the dark chocolate in the creases and where you want your shadows to go. A little bit goes a long way. And then to finish, do our greens. Apple green. Kind of in the middle. And then I'll do my darker colors along the edges. I've got olive green and field green. Yeah, some parts of the world it's already late after dinner. Like I think the UK, they're 7 hours ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Message not sent.
That was me. I pushed it.
Oh. I'm glad I have you reading those. I wouldn't have ever finished this if I didn't have you with me today, Carolyn. There's no way. Alright, so let's do our stems real quick. I'm just going to add water to that to activate the color.
Yeah, that's the fun part. 'Cause
It is.
like,
I know, it doesn't look like, and the temptation, especially with these Inktense pencils, is to color them really dark. If you color them really dark, you will end up with like almost black in some cases. Like some of these colors are so dark that they really will overkill. Like you won't see your pattern underneath at all. So next time we're doing the tree, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the time after that. We've got 3, if we do every other week like I'm planning, we have 3 weekends in October that we'll be meeting for these live stream events, and one of them is going to fall right on Halloween, so that should be a lot of fun. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for that. I don't think I want to do a strictly Halloween project since it'll already be, past or, on the day, but I'll do something fun. I was thinking about maybe doing an owl, Carolyn, when you were saying that you wanted me to do an owl. So I might do an owl, or I don't know. So if you have any suggestions for something that I can do on Halloween, let me know. I'm definitely going to have to speed this up when I upload the video. Now I know who my true fans are. That's right. They stuck with me for an hour and a half of coloring.
yeah, owls are great, and there seems to be the new thing with paintings.
Mm-hmm.
I see them all the time. An hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't done them, because they've been done a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of them done, but I've done them a few times with my kids' class. I actually did them as a Zentangle. If you want to see those, it's on my blog. You can see what my kids' class did. Actually, one of my girls, we showed our work at the local art walk after class one year, and she had her Zentangle drawing. Somebody wanted to buy it, and her mom didn't want to sell it, so the guy paid her to do a new drawing, and she was like 10 years old at the time or something. So she was super excited because she got her first paid gig, you know. And then the guy used her drawing, and got a tattoo of an owl on of her drawing. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
I know. It was Drew.
Wow.
You know, Terry's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so don't do what I just did there and get your colors mixed over. Don't go over the line there. If you catch it while it's wet, you can kind of blend it back in.
Yeah. Stephanie is tempting us. She says she has her plate right in front of her now. Ready to eat.
It's okay. You don't have to wait for us. You can eat without us.
But she also said, you know, it isn't the coloring, it's the community aspect of this format.
That's right. I agree. It's really fun. Way more fun. Turn out nice. Turn out a little bit yellow. I probably should have used a little bit more of the cadmium orange on this one, but that's all right. I can always go back in and add more later if I want to.
I like when the leaves come out with the water on top of all that green. So pretty.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to clean out your brush so that it doesn't get muddy with too much color in it. Almost done.
How's Mark's painting coming along now? Is he past the coloring stage, or is he using the water with the paintbrush?
A little bit more than others, so what you may want to do after everything is dry is go back in with your Sharpie and darken back up some of these areas if they get too washed out, if the black isn't showing up very well. I had it was a pretty cheap set of paint, so maybe it just had too much pigment. I don't know what it had, but the cheaper set of paints, and I did this with my class, and all of the ones that did use the cheaper watercolor paints ended up having to redo their drawing in parts because some of it was too dark. The paint was too dark. So if that happens to you, that's kind of normal, I guess. Almost there. I did a little bit of darker stuff around the outside of this one. In these little areas here. Figured they'd be a little bit more shadowed.
So Stephanie says that Mark's got some color on the paper, but he's eating now.
Oh!
I would too, Mark. Okay. She says she has her plate and computer at the same time.
Nice. Well,
he needs.
We're almost done.
Food for some energy to complete.
That's right. Okay, I think we're done. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for those of you who stuck with me and watched this all the way through. Really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to next time with you. Oh, look at that. I just got water on it. We're going to do painting next time of a fall tree. I don't know if everybody was here when I was talking about that, but it'll be a lot of fun. So that'll be in 2 weeks, and I'll put the live stream information up here soon, and you can look in the description, and it'll be on Facebook. So if you haven't followed me on Facebook, you'll probably want to do that. You can get information from there. I'll post stuff that I'm going to be doing on my Facebook page, and that link is in the description. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching today, and appreciate you all. I'll talk to you later. See you in a couple weeks. Bye.